Hey guys, welcome to FM Driving School. Today we're doing a driving test with a real driving examiner. It's a real driving test route and one of the nicest driving examiners I've met and seen. The driving examiner gave us students a lot of chance to make the mistake and correct themselves. They tried their best not to intervene. Obviously when a driving examiner intervenes you fail, but they gave us student enough time to react to the last second so the student doesn't make a major fault. The student did almost make quite a few major faults, I would say. We were in the driving test with the student and we saw exactly what went on, and as I said, the driving examiner tried their best to give this student a lot of chance in order to pass their driving test. They also helped her when it was necessary, for example with the speeds and everything. So we're going to go through it. So let's get straight into the driving mock test here that's happening. So as you can see, there's quite a few learners around, and that's because we're at the driving test center. Now, what do I mean by my student almost made quite a few major faults? Because had they not corrected themselves, it would have been a major. Now, the student made the mistake but quickly fixed it before anything went wrong. And some examiners, they may react a little bit more quicker. Some examiners may feel, you know what, it's a bit too dangerous, we're going to fail you. And our examiner, as I said, was very nice. They allowed the student to correct themselves, and they explained afterwards at the debrief, actually they didn't really affect no one. No one was around, so we felt that it was still safe for the student to correct themselves. Like in this situation, like we're moving out, we're turning left. The other thing the examiner mentioned at the end, we'll go through it at the end actually. So look, we're driving through. The first thing our student was helped out here was, we're going to show you, it was a minor fault. So the student was told to turn left. The volume is turned off. You're not allowed to record, what goes on inside the driving test. You can see the route, of course, but you can't hear the voices. So we're turning left. The student initially indicated right, then apologized and asked the examiner, sorry, are we turning left? The examiner clarified, yes we are. Some examiners can get a bit moody. They don't, they tell you once, they expect you to hear it, they expect you to be on point. Now what happened here, you might see this car changing their mind to stop. So this is literally real time right now. I was sitting in the exam with the student. I heard everything. I saw everything. So I know exactly what's happening. So the student, yeah, okay, jumps through. So this black car, there was actually a little bit enough room to go in front of the black in front driving right now. The student decided to hold back. The examiner did say to my student, "Do you know what? When you take the opportunities when they come." I felt that was a bit strange because I didn't think she needed to tell the student right now, like, take your opportunities. So she's almost giving a hint what to do. Now the issue is she did afterwards explain, I'm gonna give you a minor fault here for not taking the chance when you had the chance to go. But it was still nice of her to tell him and reassure him, your mate, like, be careful, make sure you go when you get a chance. So now we've turned, the student was told take the second road on the left, so here we come. Then the student was asked, find somewhere safe to stop. So you're going to see the student now checking their mirrors, indicating a move across. I would say the student was a little bit jerky with the clutch moving and stopping, so you might see in the video slightly juddering. You might see it as the student moves off. So stop correctly, then ask, do your 6-1 check and move, so to move off safely. So he'll do his 6-1 check and move. There you go, the student stalled. Did you see that? Or judded, almost stalled and saved himself and moved. So probably another minor. He did this a few times. Obviously, nerves does affect a student. It's his first ever test. The examiner did also explain we're gonna have a few stopping scenarios. So I think we're gonna stop again if I remember correctly. Let's see. As we're driving. Okay, if not, I think we're going left at the end. So let's see. Let's just keep driving. Alright. So maintaining the 20 miles an hour. Checking your mirrors every couple of seconds. And let's see where we go from here. If I remember correctly, it was let's see, left. Oh, it's a roundabout. It was a third exit here. So we should be taking first, second, indicate right. Indicate came off here, so quickly put it back on to the right and then indicate left to come off. Okay, there's a 20 miles an hour. So the student was told to take the third exit in the route. And we carried on driving, watching out for speed sign. We can see it's 20. Here's a meter scenario. So far it's okay. A little bit juddery with the stopping earlier. Obviously clutch control, and was the other mistake. Not it was a minor fault. Whereas the student left the test center, the examiner told the student, take your opportunities when they come. So normally an examiner may be a little bit quiet. That's it. They wouldn't normally say that, but some of the examiners who are a bit nicer are trying to. Obviously, they know you're nervous. It's the first few minutes, so they're trying to help out by saying, "Look, just be a bit more alert." So here we are. We're still driving. The examiner did say to us when we stopped earlier that you're gonna have you're gonna be stopping a few times. So let's see. Where do we go? Left here, is it? Let's see. Checking our mirrors. Yeah, indicating turning left. And then watch right. Oh, we lost control of the steering there a little bit. And then we were told to stop here somewhere. So let's see. So as we're driving, checking our mirrors, we were told to stop just next to this driver. He was told, don't worry about the single yellow and don't worry about the driveway. So that's why you might see the student driving a bit more near the driveway. The examiner said, don't worry about it. I'd like you to stop right next to this car. And then told to move off again. You can see it's really not necessary, but it's part of the exam. Then as he drove, he was asked to do it again. You'll see, I think it's next to another red car. So let me see, which red car is it? Okay, no, it's a bit further ahead. So look, you can just see randomly told to stop and then told, okay, move off from here. So don't feel shocked by it. In this particular one, we were told to stop quite a few times. Benefits are it's just literally moving or stopping and wastes a bit of your time in the driving test. So take it as a positive. And I think that's the red BM. Let me see if you're asked to stop again. Check your mirrors, come in, yeah. And then asked to stop before this red car. And he was told stop like about literally about here. He was told to stop here. And she told the student move forward a little bit extra. And then the reason for that, now we've stopped here because we're now gonna actually no, we stopped and we were told we're gonna move off again. So 6-1 check and move off. So in that space, we already stopped 3 times. 3 times we've already stopped. So make sure you do your 6-point check properly. And it's only been literally within the first 5 to 10 minutes. Asked to stop 3 times. Again, it is a bit unusual. I mean, your driving is a bit stop start right now. You really want it to flow, but I guess that's the test route right now. So as we drive, you can see great driving from the student, dealing with all the meeting scenarios, taking it slow, trying to find his opportunity to get through. Now the student was told here, the road's 30. There's a 30 sign. Let me pause it and I can. So as we were driving, the examiner randomly said to my student, the road's now going to be 30. I didn't quite understand why she said it, because obviously I'm at the back seat, look, and we were told to park on the right as well. We'll go through that, but I was a bit shocked why did she say that, but now I've seen the clip. It's slightly hidden away. That's probably why he was told the road's 30. So now we're doing a reverse exercise. So the student was also told park on the right somewhere. Don't worry about this saying yellow. She clarified that to the student, and then obviously asked to reverse back 2 cars length. I thought it was quite nice of the examiner to again clarify. Don't worry about the single yellow. We teach our students, you can park on the single yellow. We do teach our students that. But obviously when you're driving, the examiner says you might think, oh, I can't park on the single yellow. So it is really reassuring that the examiner says to you, don't worry about the single yellow. So you have less headache. You just reverse, park on the single yellow, move off. So that's your maneuver. Quite easily done. It's probably the easier maneuver. Parking on the right, reversing back, and driving off. Okay, so now we've literally stopped 4 times. You could say. And now we're picking our speed, the 30 miles, which the examiner told us. So I thought that was really nice. And some examiners can do that. They will do that if the signs are a bit hidden away, or if it's a bit like one of these areas where you can't really see the signs. They will tell you. It's not cheating. It's nothing wrong with that. They're allowed to. So but when I was sitting in the car, obviously I couldn't see the sign myself, but I'm sitting in the back, so I wasn't sure why she said it. But now seeing it, I can understand why she said the road here is 30. And the other nice part was telling the student, don't worry about the single yellow. Some examiners forget to say it. It's not wrong, but sometimes they do forget to say it. Now we're told to pull up again. Look, constantly pulling up right now. Pulling up. Now we're told, okay, now we're going to do the emergency stop. So this is there's a good reason why we stopped here now. This one I can understand because we're going to do emergency stop. All right. Hopefully, you guys are finding this a bit helpful. Go to our site, fmdrivingschool.co.uk, and we also got some online videos coming out. So go to our site, you'll see it there very soon. If it's an old video, hopefully you'll see it by now. We got online course where we teach everything that we've for you guys to pass. So the student was told, pick up your speed a bit, mate, because he was a little bit slow. You can see him accelerating now, and then the examiner's going to say stop, and the student stopped. There you go. And then he's told move off again. So make sure you do your 6-point check and then move off again. I did feel this stop was a little bit too smooth. I would have been a bit more firmer. So again, this is why I felt the examiner was a little bit lenient. Some other examiners which I've seen have told the student, okay, can you do the emergency stop again? Like they wouldn't have failed them. They just say, can you do it again? And the student does it again and becomes a bit more firmer. In this case, the examiner thought it was sufficient, told him to drive off. But from the other examiners I've seen who are a little bit more stricter, maybe they may have asked the student to do it again. But anyway, well done to the student. Didn't fail as of yet. So we're driving. So that one I would have said if I was an examiner, I would have said to the student, do it again. Everybody judges a bit different. We're all human. We don't see the same thing with the same eyes. So anyway, now we're driving at good pace, 30 miles. Give way sign. So there was the student came to a stop. There was a few mistakes the student did when he was driving because he doesn't know the area. He booked this test randomly. Okay, we're turning right here. So he booked the test randomly, so it came a bit sudden. So we didn't get a chance to go and practice thoroughly around the area. I'm sure maybe you guys yourself have found a test and had to take it outside the area. Now, you're going to see now in this drive, him driving quite, you could say recklessly, but it will seem reckless because he doesn't know the area. So he's almost missing certain junctions, certain roundabouts, certain signs, which the examiner picked up on. But credit to the student, he did react in time, just in time though. So okay, as we're driving, meeting scenario, as soon as van's waiting. So far we've done a maneuver, we've had meeting scenario, we've got an emergency stop we just did. Right now as we're driving, the examiner says to the student, there's going to be 2 roundabouts coming up, both of them turn left. So here's one. And the reason why this is good, because he does not know the area, and it's nice for the examiner to, just make him aware there's going to be 2 roundabouts close to each other. So we turn left here, and then let's see where we go. I think it was left again. And then we're driving. And then let's see, I think it was left again. Yeah, it was left. And we got a zebra crossing, and then she said follow the bend around to the right. Again, that was really nice. So there's giveaway lines on the left of you, so you have to follow it naturally. But again, it was quite nice of the examiner to make the student aware there's going to be 2 roundabouts quite close to each other and go left on both. Sometimes the examiner might say turn left at both roundabouts and not tell you they're going to be close to each other. Sometimes they will. So it was really nice they did. And then they said afterwards, follow the bend of the road towards the right. Another examiner may not have said that. So again, I did feel the examiner was extremely nice towards us as we drive. Let's keep driving. Alright. So the reason why this is helpful right now, the student's given a little bit of information about the road so that he knows what's going to happen or what may happen. Now, as a learner driver, it's very difficult to concentrate, listen to the examiner, listen to the words, and let it sink in. There's going to be 2 roundabouts coming up quite close to each other. It's very hard to think like that, but the fact that they're trying to give you a bit of help and try to take it as much as you can. And again, it's very helpful, I think. As you gain experience, it becomes a little bit easier though. So now as we're driving, quite a straight road, really nice route for now. It does get a little bit tricky a bit further on. So right now we're doing inside roads, quite a lot of inside roads right now. This is a Tolworth driving test center. You can see learners already on the left and right of us. So far it's going well. The examiner's asking the student, what they're getting up to, having a little small chit chat. Again, making the student feel a bit relaxed. Here the student was told to turn right, and again very nicely told the markers on the road are not clear, so turn right. You can see on the floor here turning right is a bit faded, so this area here is a bit faded to turn right. Again, I thought it was quite helpful to there's no need in fact, but it was quite nice that she said it. And here, watch this tricky part of the test route. She stayed extremely quiet here, and rightly so. You're going to see why. A lot of water here. You're going to see a no entry ahead of you, and you have to turn towards the left. There you can see the no entry. The student slowed down, tilted to the left. The examiner said extremely quiet because it's part of the test where you go through. It's a bit of like a trick. You have to see the no entry and not go into it, obviously, and follow the road around it. So as we come around, I think I told you turn left again, if I remember correctly. And then we're going to start independent driving very soon. So now it gets a little bit more tricky now. So I thought that was a little bit tricky. Seeing that you have to turn left, seeing the no entry. Examiner is also making student relax by just having a small chit chat. What do you get up to is quite common. Every examiner actually has a similar conversation. If you we're asked to pull over again. Now this time we're asked to pull over for a reason, and that is we're doing independent driving. We're gonna follow road signs. It was like the A306 London, if I remember correctly. So while we're stationary, don't forget it's very easy. Look, there's a 40 miles an hour road sign. We literally just stopped before it. The examiner's now explaining to the student, okay, follow the directions. So we're not doing sat nav. You don't have to do sat nav. So make sure when you're doing it, don't miss the sign. It's very easy. I know we just literally stopped right before the sign. Now as we drive, again, so far fairly straightforward. Now we're just going through. Now this is doing the independent driving. The independent can be 15 minutes up to 20. Most likely it's going to be about 10 to 12. So now as you're driving, okay, we got about temporary roadworks going on. Look out for the road signs. If you do go the wrong way in the driving test, you don't fail your driving test. The examiners don't really want to go the wrong way. Right now we're kind of deep into the test route, so probably halfway. I'm sure the examiner does not want to go the wrong way. So they probably not any examiner is probably more likely now to just to maybe even help you a little bit in the independent driving, because they do have to get back to the test center and examine other students. So anyway, check your mirrors here, move off. Again guys, go to our site. We also got a course, FM driving course coming out. Go to our YouTube channel, you'll see it, you can purchase it. Everything we teach, how to pass the driving exam, how to impress the driving examiner. Look, we sit with the driving examiners. We speak to the driving examiners. We know what to expect, what they want from the student. Here the students picking up speed really well. You can see them speeding up to 40 miles an hour. Now the key is to see the sign. Okay, let's see where it is. It's still been quite a long way. It's easy to lose concentration and forget you're doing the independent driving. So as we're driving, it's going to come right quite fast as well, because we're doing 40 miles an hour. You might miss it. Now the examiner did actually ask, did you see the sign? Because you can see again, it's kind of restricted by the trees. So I thought it was quite nice. The student said no, he knows where he's going. London A306. So he's picked the left position and come to a nice. So the hard part of this roundabout is, after this roundabout, there's another left straight away. So look, he's waiting for opportunity. Again, great driving, waiting for the chance to go. And I think it helped that there was a car parked in front of it. You're going to see a car as he turns left. There's two roundabouts consecutive. So look, he's going to go, and it's easy to forget where you're going. So as he moves on, because of this polo here, he had to stop. So there's actually another roundabout, and he's turning left. Again, wait for a chance to go. And then let's see. I think he slightly stalls here. Was it here? Or slightly jerks the car as he moves off, but then picks up his speed. And now picking up his speed nicely. So went the correct way, and then carried on. Still doing this. Still doing the independent driving. So the examiner did ask, "Did you see the sign?" The student said, "Yes, I'm going left or A306." Obviously, if you said the wrong answer, the examiner could quickly guide you. No, you should be going this way. Any examiner can do that. So now we're picking up our speed. We're still following the road signs, but I think the examiner says now follow the signs towards Claygate. So they changed the direction now. As we're driving, the student now has to see the next directions, the next road sign. So here we are. So the student has to see it, and you can see it's right. And now this is now moved across to the right hand lane. So just because the examiner says follow the signs towards London A306, for example, it doesn't mean you're following it throughout the test. They changed it now, right now, and they say, can you now follow Claygate? You're still doing the independent driving. And then as you're doing it, whenever they finish, they could say, okay, now we're done. We're now gonna just follow. If you're now gonna follow my own directions. So we're in the correct lane. We're in the right lane, doing the independent driving. Correctly position ourselves. You're gonna see it does get a bit tricky now. So we're already doing fast pace. We're doing all these residential area roads. Now doing quite fast paced roads. Okay, turning right, green. Is it? Yeah. So it's controlled. There's a crossroad, but it's controlled. You can see the 30 miles an hour sign, and then driving ahead. And the fact is, I sat in the exam, so I saw everything. I heard it. Obviously, sitting at the back is not the same as sitting at the front. Oh, it looks like we're turning right here. It's not, and you're gonna see a bit tight road now. Okay, so obviously, if I was at the front, I could see the signs, the road signs of Claygate, London A3, or so. From the back, I can't see that, but I know what they're doing. I know how they're talking. I know how they're marking. I can see they explain it at the end as well, and to explain everything. So, and I can ask questions as well at that time. Why did you mark it this way? Why did you not mark it that way? And they explain themselves, and we learn as well. We both of us, the students learning, I'm learning, because now I know how the examiners are thinking. Even though I've been teaching for a long time, every examiner thinks a bit differently. We get to gauge why a certain examiner marks one way, another examiner marks another. So anyway, we're driving. Don't forget fmdriverschool.co.uk or go to our course. Okay, so now we're driving. Meeting scenarios now. Students doing really well, taking his time. You can see he's just done 40 miles an hour now, coming down to 30, taking his time. So doing really well, expecting cars. So this is a great part of the driving from the student. Looking far ahead, controlling his speed, controlling the distance between the cars, maneuvering himself between the cars. So again, great driving. Examiners pick all this up. They feel comfortable. They feel relaxed if the student drives safely and comfortably and correctly. So now again, it's still a bit tight. You're checking your mirrors. You're controlling your speed. You're expecting cars. This is meeting scenarios. Here's a car coming. Let's see what that student does. So the car in front flashed at him. He's taking the opportunity and gone through. But you saw the student slow down a little bit. You saw the car slow down a bit. The student was ready to react. Even though he's slow around the bend, he's expecting cars to come. Great driving in these meeting scenarios. All right. So now we're gonna go. Looks like we're going left. Give way. You don't have to stop if you can clearly see who's coming. I'm sure the student probably could. That's why in the giveaway you don't have to stop. Okay, so let's see what's happening now. Again, the examiner may now have a conversation with us, and she had, and they were having a conversation, which is fine. It happens to make the student a bit more comfortable, and they ask questions like, "What work do you do?" Um, even the student was asking the examiner about themselves, which is fine. You're allowed to ask it if you're getting a vibe. The examiner's chatting to you. Feel free to ask them. Feel free to have a conversation. Do when you feel comfortable, when you feel safe, like this straight part of the road. Don't do it when something's going on though. Okay, so let's see now. We're driving straight. There's a part where it gets a bit tricky. Let's see. Maybe it's coming up soon. So right now we're turning right. It looks like. So I think it was this part here. So almost had a major fault here. So now we're waiting. The student actually stalls here. Like, as he moves off, stalls a bit. And another car horns at us. Now the horning is a bit off-putting, but it's not a major fault. Obviously, when you're doing your tests, you don't want people horning at you. So here we're turning right. Yeah, it was literally almost a major fault. I did feel the examiner tried their best and safely allowed our student to react to the fault. So we're gonna be turning right. You'll see the student accidentally, as he moves off, almost goes to the wrong side of the road. Now, because he quickly reacted, and the examiner explained at the end, because we didn't really affect no one, you managed to safely get correct yourself. Therefore, you didn't commit a major fault. Obviously, I can't see who's around us. I'm sitting down. I ain't got a mirror to see who's around us. So this is why, my point of view, my perspective was, maybe this was a major fault. Because I can't see everything. The examiner can. They got the mirrors. I don't have the mirrors. I don't have that luxury. So you're gonna see the student now turn right. Don't commit this in the test. If you're not sure of the area, just move off a little bit slow once or twice in the test, just so you can have the extra second to see things. Not always. You have to be a bit progressive. So you can't just be slow. Look, as we move, this almost goes. It turns. It's gonna turn right. I mean, he's waiting for oncoming cars, which is great. Uh, and he's gonna almost go to the wrong. You're gonna see as he turns in this wrong part here, but he quickly moves across. Extremely dangerous. And then the other problem was now he's on the right hand lane and he has to move back across to the left hand side, which he has done. But you can see almost went to the wrong area, wrong part of the road. If you go to the wrong part, obviously you'd fail. The examiner 100% would have stopped the car and intervened, and you would have committed a major fault. But they allowed the student to quickly correct themselves, and they did. Credit to the student. They quickly realized and moved across. Credit to the student. Amazing driving. Then we have this roundabout. Look at this. He's going really fast. And it literally, he just almost committed that mistake. It's probably playing on his mind, and now he's almost missed this roundabout. You're gonna see him like he's driving really fast. I was sitting in the back, I felt it. So as we're driving, he almost misses the roundabout. So you can see he's really fast, really fast. You can see a sudden braking happening. Look at that sudden brake, almost reacted to the roundabout. Sorry, extremely late. Or he wasn't thinking because he just committed a mistake. It's playing on his mind, which has happened to our learners, happens to our students, even in driving lessons. When you make a mistake, plays on your mind, and almost again committed another major fault. Again, credit to the student, just about reacted in time, and that's the key. If you correct your mistakes, you will not fail. You'll probably get a minor fault. So here we are driving on the dual carriageway. So you can see it's 50 miles an hour, pouring down. And the student was asked to show as they were driving, which we forgot to mention, one of the show me tell me questions. I think it was a red they missed that they were asked to show. But anyway, in the test you have to know how to operate the wipers if it's raining. Okay, so we come off the slip road, and if I remember correctly, we're gonna go left at the end here. Okay, so far it's quite safe. Slip road. Driving down, make sure you control the car, make sure if there's a lot of traffic, you have a nice gap between you and the car in front. Right now there's nobody around. So guys, hopefully this is quite useful. If it is, don't forget to like, share and subscribe with FM Driving School, and go to our channel as well. We've got loads of other videos, how to drive, how to impress the driving examiner, what driving examiners look out for, how to do the maneuvers, where the major faults are, where the minor faults are. All these mistakes we go through in our channel. So go to our site. I'll go to our channel as well. Sorry. So as we're driving, let's see what's happening now. There's a roundabout coming up here. There's a 30 miles an hour, and looks like we're going left. So make sure you check your mirrors. You indicate. Is it left? Yeah. So this should lead us back to the driving test center. So we've done the route now. All we're doing right now is going back to the driving test center. So try to keep composed. Try and make sure you don't commit any major faults around here. So literally about 5 to 10 minutes away now. Back to the driving test center. Now it's very easy because you're coming back. Literally, I can see these roads now. 20 miles an hour. I know we're fairly close to the test center now. So even you yourself, you might know the area. If you're getting back towards the test center, make sure you don't mess up now, because it's very easy to lose the concentration. You might think, okay, let me just get back, but anything can happen between now and literally back to the driving test center. As soon as you get back, once the engine is turned off, then you finished the test. Otherwise, you're still in test mode. So 20 miles an hour, we should be turning right in one of these roads, leading us back to the driving test center. The roads down here are going to be a bit narrow. So again, the roads are fairly quiet, and the reason for that is it's the holidays right now. So it is a bit busy earlier on, but the roads aren't as busy because it's a holiday. So it's 2:32. The test started. Right now it should be coming up to 3, maybe even 3:05 as we head back to the driving test center. I'll say it's about 3. But no one's out. Also, it's raining, so you don't really have the cyclists, as many cyclists out. Um, the school holidays right now, so you don't have the parents out driving. So it's quite a nice time right now to do the driving test in the holidays. All right. Unfortunately, it is raining, so you may have to deal with quite a few hazards. But it seems alright for now. The driving test seemed a little bit quiet. So we're driving. I think this is alright routine. Yeah. So you check your mirrors, you indicate, make sure that you get in, and the student, let's see, turns in time, and then right at the end of the road, then it's another right, should be at the end of the road and back towards the test center. So we're gonna go through as well at the end the pass, how the student pass. Even if you were to fail, we would have gone through it, but we've already explained the student has passed their driving test in this video. So we go through the mistakes though that the examiner picked up on, which I'm sure you guys saw as well. We'll go through some of the minors that you may not have seen because you can't see everything while watching the video just driving forward. There's a lot of factors like who did you affect, who's around you, which mirror, what's in the mirrors. You guys can't see that because you're just watching the video straight ahead. So anyway, as we're driving, we'll turn right at the end. The student may be asked, you never know, to pull up on the left, but because they were asked so many times right at the start, I don't expect them to be asked on the way back now. So we're on the right, and you can see the arrows on the floor, and there's another student in front as well. They may be on the exam. All right. So guys, as I said, make sure you guys go to our site fmdrivingschool.co.uk. Check out our course fmdrivingcourse.com. Go to our channel, subscribe. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please click the button. It's only a click, and yeah, make sure you follow us. Okay, here we are. We're turning right. As you turn, there's another learner on our left. He should be going left. As you turn right, make sure you get into the left lane. If there's a lane, if there's something in the way, you get into the right lane. So we go into the right lane. Not bad decision because there's parked cars on the left. So great decision, seeing the parked cars, getting in. Okay, now just again straight down. 20 miles an hour road. And literally going back to the test center now. Let's see. Yeah, is this the right? Yeah. So Marcel almost made a mistake here as well. You're gonna see as they turn right, you're gonna see what happens. The examiner literally was about to say, okay, she was gonna explain where to park up. As she was about to say something, like, here we go. The student stalled, and then had to quickly restart the car. We're slightly tilted now. This will be a minor fault. This van driver is now flashed slightly, it looks like, and giving us way. Now, again, as I said, on the way back to the test center, it can happen. You can make mistakes. Luckily, he didn't stall as he was turning, so he wasn't big of a turn, so he wasn't sticking out too much. And then driving back towards the driving test center. Now, as you can see, that stalling there, though, had he been tilted any more further, could have been a major fault. But quickly restarted the car and then got back in. So a minor fault there as well, and then finished the driving test. The student was then asked to turn the engine off. As you can see, the wipers have now come off. So now the student has officially finished their driving test. Now I'm sitting in the back of the car. The examiner now is going to explain if the student had passed or not, and if he had passed or failed, where the faults were, why the faults were marked in a certain manner. I did ask why wasn't the right turning when the student tried to turn right, almost went to the wrong lane, and suddenly moved back to the left. Why wasn't that considered a major? So obviously I was curious what they saw, and they explained to me, look, there was no cars behind. The student quickly rectified it in time, and therefore that wasn't a major. Then we had that roundabout scenario. The examiner again explained it was on the verge of being a major, but the student just literally reacted in time, and because he was checking his mirrors thoroughly, she had the feeling that at least he knew who was around us, so she felt a bit confident that okay, he does know who's around us. And then she also explained, which is normal, um, which is when you make one big mistake, it kind of affects you. It's playing on your mind, and then therefore you may make another mistake. And there you have it. This is a real driving test that's just happened. Hopefully this was good experience for you. I know I might be waffling a little bit. Maybe you don't want to hear me talk. I get that, but I'm just explaining to you what happened while I was sitting in the car. So hopefully that was useful as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with FM Driving School.